Hi guys, right, I thought I'd do a contest entry video. We're just going to do a quick look around my tegu's cage. Basic sort of usual facts about them. This is my male Argentinian black and white tegu. He's a sub-adult male, getting towards full grown now. He's around 4 foot and 3.5 kilos. Not quite full grown because his body hasn't filled out yet, so he probably has another 6 months growing in him. This is his cage. It's an 8 foot by 2.5 foot deep, 2 foot high cage, or if you're American, 300 gallons. It's heated by a 100 watt halogen bulb and an 80 watt halogen flood bulb. The 100 watt bulb is on a thermostat to control the temperature properly, so it turns itself on and off. There's no background heating in this tank, as my raptor room sits about 75 degrees anyway, so it doesn't really need it. In the winter I replace the halogen bulb with a 150 watt ceramic, just to keep it warm at night. I leave it on all the time. In the summer there's no need to have it, and 150 watt ceramic is a bit much, so I just knock it down to a 100 watt halogen bulb. UV, there's a 10.0 4 foot strip along the back. Decent penetration level, so it's fairly good. Substrate, he's using EcoEarth. I know some people do use garden centre variety muds. I'm not a big fan of that, as you never can quite tell what's in it, so I do pay a bit over the odds to use EcoEarth to fill a cage this size. It's not cheap. Water, he has just a nice big cat litter tray. It's about 15 litres of water in it. The cage is fairly plain. If you can put decorations in these cages, but they do tend to just get trashed, so there's absolutely no point doing it. I did have plastic plants in here and he tore them to shreds, so there wasn't much point. So the decor I have in here is big solid stuff. He's got a big solid tree trunk. Makes the cage look a bit prettier. He does climb on it a bit. He tends to climb on it and jump into his water bowl. And he's got one big log across the back there that holds the substrate back. There's about 8 inches of substrate behind there with the cork bark hide sitting on the top of it. Gives him a bit of a place to burrow and hide. He sleeps down there. Basic cage. We've got the temperatures. It's about 90 degrees in the hot end, just over. It's around 80 degrees down the cool end. And the basking temperature, which is the surface temperature underneath his lights, is between 105 and 110. You can't actually check that with normal temperature probes. I see a lot of people on YouTube using disc thermometers and normal digital temperature probes. You need a laser temperature probe to check the actual surface temperature. Otherwise, it will just read the air temperature above it. Won't read the actual surface temperature. Not expensive piece of kit. Great piece of kit to have. They're about 20 quid. Most hardware stores will have some version of it. As I say, I paid $18.99 for this one, and it works spot on. Right, we're going to get him out. I'm not sure how well this is going to work with one hand, but we'll give it a go and try and give him a bit of a feed for you. He's a bit huffy. He is fairly tame. I can hand feed him anything. He's just not 100% on being picked up. For the purposes of this video, though, I am going to use tongs. Let's give him a couple of soup worms. Oh, bit that one in half. Oh. Give him a couple more. Oh no, he got it. His diet normally is, well, I'll go through what he eats in a week. In a week he eats around 50 adult locusts, around 50 superworms, a small rat, 2 big bowls of vegetables, and about 250 grams of turkey mince or chopped up chicken, something like that. I do occasionally give him fish as well. He's quite partial to it, but very expensive to be feeding him done fish. He does quite like his soup worms, but they're a bit small for him, these ones. The reptile shop didn't have any of the really big ones in, so I've got... It's a lovely lizard, I must say. I'm a big fan of these. I've wanted one of these for ages, a lot of my lizards. Very expensive, and they do take a lot of work. I don't recommend these as pets to anyone who's not really into reptiles. I'd say they're a lot of work to tame, a lot of work to look after. Right, let's see if we can get him out. Ooh. He's fairly well behaved. Doesn't have a problem with me fussing or anything. He does free roam quite a long time because his cage isn't really big enough. I know a lot of people say a 6-foot cage is big enough for a tegu. In my opinion, that's not even close. I've seen them even down to a smaller sort of 75, 100-gallon tanks. You're not even close when you're keeping them in cages. That time it's just cruel. I would say for an adult tegu, this would be about the bare minimum. For me, in the next couple of months, I'm going to be building him a much bigger cage. I'm planning on a 7-foot by 5-foot corner viv, which works out as about 600 gallons. I will be doing videos of that, of course, when I've done it, but at the moment it's only in the planning stages. I've got to find some time off work to do it. So he does spend a lot of time free roaming, normally about 2 to 3 hours a day. As you can see, he's a big lad. See? He's getting to a decent size. Well, thanks for watching. That was just a quick video on my tegu. Hope you enjoyed it, and give us a comment and let me know